Do you believe you live on a globe?
On a globe as in the world?
Yes. Could I ask you, what's your number one proof that you believe that?
I suppose, I don't know, it's just been ingrained in you, hasn't it?
Yep.
So, yeah.
If I asked you if you could give me the number one proof that you live on a globe.
A picture from space.
Picture from space.
Picture from space.
Do you think that those are real?
Yeah.
You do? Do you believe you live on a globe?
Yes.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you why?
Science kind of proves that.
Well, this is the thing, but I should have said this before I started. I love science.
Right.
And I'm a natural science guy. Do you know what natural science is?
Not exactly. No.
Natural science is basically observing the world, you know.
Right.
And science like that should be based on empirical proof, which is testing, observing, repeating, so that we come to understandings about reality and stuff like that. So you were saying you believed you lived on a globe.
Yes,
but
aye.
do you know why?
Well, there's scientific measurement. We've been in space, we can actually observe that.
You've been to space?
I've not been to space, no.
Do you think those images that you see are actual photographs?
Yes.
You do?
Aye.
Although they tell you on the NASA site they're not.
Do they?
Yes.
Right, okay.
If we were living in a sphere, we would have real 24-hour video, real images from space, but we don't.
And how can you provide evidence that the pictures aren't real?
Yes, they tell me. Who? NASA.
They haven't told me that they.
Go to their website and they'll tell you that all their images are composite images. They're composite images, they're not photographs. And the reality is that none of those photographs or videos are actually real. Yeah, they tell you on their website. Honestly, they're composite. Do you both believe that you live on a globe?
Yeah.
You believe you live on a globe?
Yeah.
Can I ask you one at a time why? What would be your number one proof that you lived on a globe?
I don't know, I think just because from a young age we've all been kind of taught that.
Yep, great,
So
great response. So
yeah.
that's for you. That's your reason.
I think everybody else speaks about it like that as well, though. There's not really much else.
Yeah.
I take it you believe you live on a sphere, a globe. Mm-hmm. Could you tell me your number one proof for why you believe that?
Gravity.
Gravity. Mm-hmm. What is gravity?
Well, pulls everything towards the centre of the earth.
Yeah. Could you give us a practical example of that? Yep. So I can explain that as the keys and the materials that that's made of is more dense than the medium that it's in air right now.
Yeah.
Therefore it falls. But they have to invent these incredible magic forces. So you've got a magic force that they call gravity that can hold trillions upon trillions of tons of water stuck to a globe.
Yeah.
But a tiny midgie or a tiny fly can float, no problem. Without the sphere, all you need is density and buoyancy.
So what's the force pulling my keys to the floor?
Density, because the keys are so dense. Here's the thing, you get a helium balloon, the helium balloon rises. Why? There's gravity.
Well, the helium is lighter than oxygen.
Exactly. So why do we need gravity? Because you understand that it's less dense than the oxygen, so it rises. It's not because of any forces other than it being lighter than the environment of the sun.
Yeah.
You have natural science, you have formal science and social science. Things like mathematics are a formal science because they don't depend on empirical observations. You can start from an axiom or a presumption, you can create a mathematical model. You understand these types of things. Yeah. So natural science for me is observable, testable, repeatable. Would you agree that that's the core of science?
Yeah.
So if I make a claim to you about reality, I should be able to scale it, produce it, repeat it, and everybody can then do that. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Would you agree? So, could you give me one practical example of a body of water conforming to the exterior of a shape?
Off the top of my head, no. I don't know.
No, you couldn't. Can I ask you why you think that's not possible?
Not sure. I failed science, so I've got no idea.
I'm struggling as well, I'm afraid. Could you give me one practical example of a body of water conforming to the exterior of any shape?
body of water conforming to a shape.
It's no reality, is it? You know, if I was to show you a test tube of water, you know that it's contained and it's flat at the top. A bathtub of water, a swimming pool, a dam, a lake, an ocean. The physics don't change.
A body of water conforming to the exterior of a shape. Well, sure, if it was in a tank.
Yeah, but it's taking the form of the tank.
That's
So if I say this to you, bodies of water must be contained, they will take the shape of their container.
Right, yeah.
You understand, like a body of water, the pond over there, the surface is always flat.
Aye, and whatever's underneath is whatever's underneath.
Yep, but from one end of the pond to the other, or any body of water will be at the same level. If or no, the water will start to flow.
That's right.
Right, so you understand that, right? So they say that the Earth's 80% covered in water.
Right.
We know how water behaves.
Yep.
So how can we be living on a globe?
Atmospheric pressure, I'm guessing here. I don't know.
With natural science again, can you give me a practical example?
Well, water is, the seas are fairly stable and level apart from the tides, which the moon controls, so that's where the tides go up and down.
I'm going to have to push you for proof if you say stuff like that to me.
Well, I've seen the tide go up and down.
That's how we used it in construction years and years ago. If I wanted to find if something was level, I would use water. See, if I had a big hole somewhere and I wanted to find out if it was level, I'd fill it with water. It's the most accurate measuring tool we have. If you used a laser's fine and small and in a house and stuff. As soon as you go to a big environment, if I was to measure across there, the laser would start getting sprayed everywhere because it's affected by the moisture in the air, refraction, diffraction, reflection and stuff. So water's more accurate. So that's the thing, the place is 80% covered in water. That tells me beyond any shadow of a doubt it ain't no fucking globe.
Right. But I'm going to look into this and I'm really interested.
Again, natural science. In natural science, testable, observable, repeatable 100% of the time. Two opposing pressure systems require a solid separation between them, or else we have a thing called equilibrium. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
Yep. So, a vacuum, which is a negative pressure system, and a positive pressure system is what we live in. Do you think that the two of them can exist side by side without a solid barrier?
It's a good question.
Would you have a practical example if you thought it was real?
No.
Right.
I don't have any examples. I don't think so.
So if you took a deodorant can out and removed the metal, and you just had the gas there, would the gas keep its form or would it equilibrate with the rest of the?
Equilibrate.
Because that's what we know in the test and reality 100% of the time. So do you still believe that space is a vacuum?
It's a very deep question. Again, I'll go for maybe.
This is why I do journalism. This is too complex. Maybe.
Could you give me one practical example of two opposing pressure systems existing side by side without a solid separation between them?
I don't even follow.
No,
they say that space is a vacuum, and that we live in a pressurised system. So those are two opposing pressure systems. In reality, when we observe and test opposing pressure systems, they have to have a solid barrier between them, or you have equilibrium. So your fridge, freezer, a gas canister, if something's a different pressure from the environment, it has to be sealed, or it will equilibrate. Do you understand? Well, if you have a vacuum, which is, as a negative pressure system, so if you were to go to the back of the fridge freezer that has piping and a condenser and these things, it causes a pressure, same as your heating in your home, that builds up a pressure. Now if you were to remove the pipes, what would happen? You wouldn't have pressure, because it would equilibrate with the environment that you're in. So that's what I'm saying, if, natural science requires proof of claims. So I can't show you my pink unicorn. You can't show me a body of water conforming to the exterior of a shape, nor can you show me two opposing pressure systems existing side by side without a barrier between them. So why would I accept that as reality? Only because of NASA and these institutions. What I would say to you is this: there's cameras now that Nikon have created called a P900 Coolpix with a super zoom. There's so many people all over Earth now who are videoing the stars and what they call planets, and they're nothing like NASA showed you. Nothing like NASA showed you. They're no solid bodied things. Most of the stars are like plasmic electrical fields that are just morphing in and out. You know what a logical fallacy is? Right? So if I see circles in the sky,
Yeah.
that's no scientific proof that I live on a circle. Right? That's like saying the pool balls are round, therefore the pool table's round. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
That's a logical fallacy. So I look for real proofs, testable, repeatable, measurable proof of
But they
all
measure it
claims.
with mathematics.
But mathematics is a formal science. You can start from a
But
false axiom.
everything is built around mathematics.
No, it's not.
You like the smallest atoms is mathematics.
Yep.
Like quantic, what's it called?
If you let, if you let,
quantum
if you let-
mechanics, everything is built around mathematics. Mathematics is the universal language.
yeah, but this is the thing. Mathematics is reality was here before mathematics. Okay.
Yeah.
So men created a language to describe reality, and they called it mathematics. Mathematics, you can start from a false axiom and build a construct based on your false axiom. Where mathematics is found to be lacking is when you take it and you try and apply it to actual real life observations. Now if you don't have the real life observation, your mathematics is wrong. So they'll tell you in mathematics that water can conform to spheres, you can have negative and positive pressure systems existing side by side in mathematics. So what I'm saying to people is, can you give me a practical example for the mathematics? If you don't have the practical example, there's something wrong with your mathematics.
Yeah, I know there's all the conspiracy theories, but I did believe men went to the moon until maybe a few seconds ago, and now I'm doubting that fact. Maybe there is an alternative fact.
Just like, if I don't have the pink unicorn to show you, is it reality?
Yeah, but you can't prove a pink unicorn. You can prove that there is something else in the
So
universe.
prove to me how a body of water conforms to the exterior of a
But
sphere.
I'm not a scientist. I don't know the
We're all
mathematics that is-
scientists. Natural science is about your common sense and your
Yeah.
observations.
Natural science, but like if you believe that mathematics is the universal language of everything that exists,
Yeah.
then with my level of mathematics, I can prove anything because I haven't read enough to know this mathematics.
But you still believe what they tell you.
I believe what I tell you because people that are like Isaac Newton, who is maybe probably one of the greatest geniuses that ever lived, tell me that. Like he and others that have proven his works tell me that. Like Einstein, I don't say I'm smarter than Einstein.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You're saying that they've proved it. What I'm asking you is, where is the proof?
No, but still, okay. I can't like put my hand on the moon and say this is.
But can you show me how water conforms to a sphere?
No,
Well, why do we believe it?
because of gravity.
Give me a practical example of gravity. Yeah. Well, you know, I would suggest that I would stop anybody from adopting any beliefs, because for me a belief is a substitute for knowing. So right away I would encourage people not to believe anything, to trust your own senses and to trust real natural science, which is observable, testable, repeatable. That's how we operate, that's how we construct. We have technology. There is an objective reality that's really there, that we can measure, test and depend on. So what I would say is, don't believe in any institution who's telling you that you should believe. For me there's an issue with that. Well, again, I went and I searched extensively and I looked for proof, and I have found zero proof that the earth is a globe. There is no measurable curvature. All things in nature, everything in natural science tells me beyond any shadow of a doubt that it cannot be a sphere I'm living on.